Micah, thank you for that lovely introduction. Really over the top. From the moment one becomes Temple Israel's senior vice president, a day doesn't go by that somebody doesn't say, "Oh, and you'll be president next." Eyes grow large, and he or she looks at you like you must be incredibly smart or totally out of your mind. The next thing they always say, "Wow, that's a big job." As you can imagine, my fear and trepidation have had the opportunity to grow exponentially over the past 2 years. Not because I am fearful of the work or the effort, it's because my work here and the job I am about to begin is some of the most meaningful work I've had the privilege of undertaking. As I think about the responsibilities of these next 2 years, my thoughts do turn to the beginning of my Jewish journey, to my first memories of my Jewish home. Of course, observance was the center of our family home, but I also have vivid and fond memories of my Jewish spiritual home in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I love being Jewish and all that went with our Jewish experiences in that small community. My first real memory of my life at B'nai Emunah is attending Friday night services. After services, where Ruth and I prayed hardest that our father wouldn't snore during the sermon, my dad would seat me in a folding chair where my feet didn't touch the ground. I would balance my cup and saucer of hot tea with a plate full of cookies. Other times, my twin sister and I would race from school twice a week to attend Hebrew school. First running, of course, to the gym to try and get those cookies. You're beginning to see a pattern that has continued all my life. Before 2 hours of very hard to endure lessons that centered around repetitive, Hebrew translations. Our parents also operated the only Jewish catering service in Tulsa, so our home away from home was truly the synagogue. We knew every nook and corner. We were there 5 days a week, and never that I remember felt that it wasn't the right place to be. So it's no surprise that when I moved to Memphis many years later, it was important to find a new Jewish home to explore and call home. I knew immediately that it would be Temple Israel. Today, 30 years later, it is the Jewish home for my children and me, and for my extended Memphis family. For Jews, there is no more important place than your synagogue. What makes this Jewish home so special? We come to seek education for our children and find that they too love being Jewish. As adults, we come to study and know that we must educate ourselves in order to pass on our heritage to our children. Here we come to celebrate the happiest of occasions with our closest family and friends, and to mourn and seek solace during the saddest of times with the same as well. We come because friends who are diverse and caring without regard to economic, social, or community stature, and devoted and hardworking staff and clergy embrace us. It's a place of unconditional acceptance, and we feel a whole lot better when we leave than when we came. In fact, we feel whole. And of course, we come to pray. No small responsibility for this place. Pray for good health, for good news, for a good year, for world peace and strength, for everything good, because this is a sacred place, a place like no other. For me, this is where we come together as a people, no matter who we are outside these walls, to express our faith in God. When I walk into this synagogue, I am overwhelmed by all of this, and especially by those to whom we entrust all of this enormous, truly enormous responsibility. We ask for so much and expect so much from our brilliant, committed, funny, and warm clergy, teachers, and staff. We expect that someone will be here to heal us and teach us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We expect our support staff and housekeeping staff to be friendly and receptive to every need. And some of us expect to receive all of this when we need it the most, with little regard to what it really takes to keep it strong, viable, and available. No other Jewish institution does all of this, and none ever will. This is where the Board of Trustees and I come in. We are not the spiritual leaders, nor are we the teachers who inspire our children. We do not pretend to know how to run this incredible facility, which on some weekends handles 20-plus activities. Our responsibility is to do everything that we can to make sure that this godly work and the education, solace, and support that you always receive from the entire team are possible. It is our role to ensure a strong place where each and every member can find a way to be connected and inspired. As Rabbi Eric Yaffe, outgoing president of URJ, recently wrote, "The synagogue is the only place in the Jewish world that can be counted on to care about the individual Jew, and where everyone, no matter how rich or poor, is valued as having been created in the image of God." Here is my commitment. I pledge to do all that I can to make sure that Temple Israel survives and thrives. Along with a talented, passionate executive committee and board of trustees who are engaged and care more than you can possibly know, we will work hard to engage and retain all members by supporting the vision of our staff and offering opportunities for involvement. We want each and every one of you to know that you have a place at Temple, and I'm confident that you can find a place that will nurture you and your soul and make you feel valuable, just as I have been. You just have to come. And we will do all we can to ensure the financial stability of this strong institution. Because we don't teach or lead prayers or provide a pathway to God, we will make sure it is here for you. It is in this area of this country we can never forget or take for granted that this amazing facility that serves 1,500 Jewish families is the only Reformed Jewish congregation for hundreds of miles. We all, each and every one of us, have a commitment to keep Temple Israel strong. My other priority is to ensure that we continue to do our part and fulfill our role in the larger community outside the walls of this congregation. Members of this congregation work tirelessly for those in need throughout this community, but I believe that many more of us can and want to make a real impact on the many needs within Memphis. It's our tradition, and hopefully we'll open that door for you. Thank you for this incredible honor. I am truly overwhelmed. On so many occasions, I have surveyed the gallery of photos of past presidents, many of whom are here tonight, and was awed by the leadership of this congregation that often mirrored the leadership of this community. I watched with pride and emotion as my twin sister Ruth led her congregation in New Orleans through the tragedy of Katrina, losing a rabbi, a cantor, and so much more. And I've watched my brother-in-law, whose term ended years ago, still work hard to build an endowment for his congregation. I'm grateful to all of these past presidents and congregational leaders who have allowed me to be part of this leadership team. I was so honored all those years ago when Kenneth Wurzburg asked me to be a presidential appointment to the board. Each and every one of you has offered your assistance, and I can assure you that I will learn from your wisdom. Most of all, I want to thank Nancy Robinson for her incredible commitment to Temple Israel during these past 2 years. I promise no one has cared more about this temple than Nancy. You will be a hard act to follow. I am honored to work along with our senior rabbi, Micah Greenstein, and to support his vision. Micah, along with our other talented and diverse clergy, offers so much knowledge and strength in this community. I miss Jeff Manis. I always knew that Jeff would tell me what I needed to do when it became my turn. But Fred Kesselman came to our rescue and didn't just keep things going, he moved us forward with dignity and strength. I look forward to working with Stacy Canales, who has already proven her skills and professionalism. While it is a tradition to thank people at the end of a term, I have to take this opportunity to thank many who are here tonight. First, to our incoming Executive Committee and Board of Trustees, I am inspired by your enthusiasm and passion and look forward to working along with you. Jonathan, get ready to start the countdown. To my many friends in the various parts of my life who are here today, I am so grateful for your unconditional support. Your being here is as much a testimony to your respect for this institution as it is for me. I have learned so much from those of you with whom I work at my day job. At Methodist, our commitment to mission is equal to high-quality health care, and I admire and respect our passion to provide this quality health care in a faith-based tradition. To my family, both here in Memphis and in other cities, I'm totally grateful for your patience and encouragement. Over the many years, you have supported and celebrated my passion for and commitment to Temple. To my children, Jessica, Philip, and Adam, you are my role models for decency, kindness, and strength. You have supported me far more than I have supported you, and I love you. The bar and bat mitzvah students with whom I have had the privilege of working end their speeches with a prayer, and I shall do the same. Baruch atah Adonai, dear God, please bring continued strength and energy to this congregation so that we may be a strong and vibrant Jewish home, a place of education, spirituality, and prayer for all members forever. Amen.